Hello and welcome to another episode of the Gritty Hour. New location, new platform. How you doing, Shawnee boy?
What up, T, man? I'm doing good, man. Good to be here.
All right. Well, we have you you broke my back and you made me buy what did you call it?
What the fuck you talking about?
The booster for the
Oh,
internet.
yeah.
We have internet problems on the in our podcast room. So I'm gonna buy the goddamn booster, even though I'm paying for whatever.
Listen,
It goes against the thing, but I got to make my co-host happy. You know what I mean?
the I think deep down you knew sooner or later this was gonna happen.
Yeah, probably.
But the first time I brought it up, you're like, "Fuck him! I got to do this. I know I got to."
Secondarily, we're using instead of Zoom this time, we're using Zencaster. So we're both learning as we go this new application. But it seems like a lot of people who do podcasts or do video portions of their podcast use Zencaster. So you know me, I'm a conformist, Sean.
Yeah, listen. If you can't beat him, you join him.
Absolutely.
And we were not beating him on Zoom.
Not with the. I wasn't happy with the any of them, to be honest, in terms of video quality.
So for
We'll
anyone,
see what this one looks like. I'm sitting in the dark because I have not yet bought the internet booster thing, and we were having problems. We had a false start on this podcast, so now I think we did a previous. We did another one from this location. This is where I get all the bars on my internet thing.
yeah, actually, that was I think it was the rant and the rave. I think it was actually pretty good.
Yeah. So again, the Gritty Hour guy's still here though, but I'm at the front of my store. I'm at the front counter of my store.
Yeah.
Instead of the podcast room. So
And for anyone listening, we would appreciate actually if you could leave some comments about Zencaster and how you feel about it, if it's better.
yes, only friendly ones though.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, we get a comment from somebody. It's like a link to a porno site.
Nice,
So,
nice. There it is.
It's
there
not
it
the
is.
demographic. It's not the demographic we're going for.
You click on that, all of a sudden they got your bank account, your social security.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Oh, so that's Shawnee Boy's real name.
All right.
And so, all right, so we're using. I'm going to buy the goddamn internet thing, and we're using Zencaster today for the for this particular podcast. So, as Sean said, let us know if it's better, it's worse, or it sucks either way.
Unfortunately, that was going to be my Christmas gift to you, was to get you like this whole booster set up. But
put a hold on that delivery. Yeah,
I'll just get you. I'll get you a mug instead.
Season 1, which is what we're calling our test season of this podcast thing, ends around December. So we'll take the last 2 weeks of the year off, and then we'll start with season 2. But this has been season 1. We both discussed is going to be our learning season.
Mm-hmm.
So no pressure, Sean, but we're going to actually know we're going to have to look like we know what the hell we're doing by January, which will be season 2.
January's game time, huh? All right, I'll stretch it out.
Time. We're actually, as we discussed off camera, we discussed starting season 2 with a live broadcast.
Yes, yeah, we're gonna go live.
Put your suit in the cleaners and get that ready.
Oh, I already have the attire ready.
And let me know how much money you need to bribe somebody to get online and chat with us while we're live.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
So we look like we don't look like we're just talking to each other, and there's nobody else in the room. You know,
I'm pretty sure I can get us like 4 guys I know, 4 of my good friends. Yeah,
I'll try and talk a couple of people in. Yeah. So yeah, we'll try and get the double digits with the
see what happens
with the audience. You know. So one thing I wanted to mention in this particular podcast, this is like a where do we stand podcast, and it's also let's experiment podcast. But one thing I did want to mention in this particular podcast is one of the integral people that do this podcast, his birthday's coming up.
Yes, it is.
And since it's either you or me, and it ain't me, it must be you.
Yeah.
By the time this podcast airs, if I know what the hell I'm doing after we record, your birthday's coming up this weekend, so this will be like the day after your birthday, is it?
Yes, Sunday, October 10th is my birthday. I'm
You'll be able to drink in every state in the union.
I'm gonna be 43. I was just talking to somebody about this. I was like, 43. What the fuck happened?
What happened?
I'm meaning like I like my 40s. I think we might have even talked about this before. I enjoy being in my 40s. I do.
I enjoyed my 40s too. You'll
Yeah,
enjoy the rest of your 40s, don't worry.
yeah. It's just
The 50s, not so much.
yeah. I could
No, you'll enjoy your 50s too.
yeah, but it's just I
So
feel
you're
like
in your 40s, I'm in my 50s. We're still young men here.
yes we are. No, I got half my life to go if you think about it, right?
Yeah, well, I'm going to live to be, you know, 59 at least.
No, you got 62.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Don't buy, only buy ripe bananas, Uncle Tom.
yeah. I always tell people my, like 92. For some reason, 92 seems like a good number to get to, and then whatever happens, happens.
I have a feeling you'll get there. You know?
Yeah.
You sowed your wild oats. Now you're leading a clean life. So that'll buy you some
Yes.
extra time on the
Yes.
back end.
Yes.
You know, when some nurse is spoon feeding you, you want to be 92. You know,
Just a
time
little,
to change your diaper, Mister
Yeah.
Shawnee boy.
just as long as she's cute, I'll be all right with it.
Well, anyway, happy birthday. I'll speak to you on your day, but happy birthday.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope you had a good time yesterday because this is coming out Monday, the day after your birthday.
There you go. Well, actually, my mother, your mother,
Your mother.
my brother, my sister-in-law, and my nephew, I believe, will be taking me out for
Yes.
a bite to eat.
Yes, I guess it wasn't a surprise, but I know all about it. you know?
Yeah. So
Yes, but I
Uh,
have to earn a living, so I have to be here. So sorry I couldn't make it.
yeah, things that's okay. I understand. Things have things have changed. Like the evolution of what you do for your on your birthday is if you think about like it, your birthday is a great example of where you are in life. Like what you do.
I don't want to interrupt you, but I think the title of this podcast just came to me.
What we got?
The calendar is no man's friend.
That's yes, that's true. Unless you're off the next day.
Yeah.
But what you do on your birthday, like, is like the best example of where you are in your life. You know what I mean? Like when you're like 7, like you having the birthday party and you're having, whatever you, well, like when I was 7, you go out and you would have a pizza party and your friends would sleep over, something like that.
Mhm.
And then when you're 16, you hang out with you still have cake with your family, but then you go out with your buddies and your friends and you drive around or whatever you do. And then when you're in college, you're drinking all night, you don't remember anything. And then your 20s, you have money in your pocket, you're drinking and you don't remember anything. And your 30s and your 40s.
Oh, you'll remember them now, Sean.
I remember my birthdays now, like
Yeah. You
now,
don't look forward to them. Are you at the point in your life where you don't look forward to your birthdays anymore?
I don't know, I'm like, even though I celebrated like my 21st, I remember the first hour and then that's a blur. And then
You don't drink anymore, so
no, I'm just trying to say like besides like maybe the big ones, I never really made like a big deal out of my birthday. It wasn't something I'm not like a birthday person, like, oh, it's my birthday, so I never like got that like overzealous about celebrating it.
Mhm.
But I don't like not look forward to it. Like, my uncle, wise man, my uncle Tom, which is you.
Yeah, that son of a bitch.
You told me something when I turned 40 that stuck with me. You said you no longer maybe I'm paraphrasing, but like you're no longer like really living life, you're surviving life.
I never said that.
So yes, you did.
That's way too highbrow for me.
I'm telling you, you said that to me. You said you're now a survivor of life. You've made it to your 40s, like you.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, and it stuck to me. It stuck with
must
me.
have been a brief moment of clarity on my part.
But like, if you think about it, you're right now. Like I'm not, like I'm living my life, of course, but I've survived, or I'm surviving. I keep surviving life, which is kind of like, as you get older, that's the whole.
Well,
idea.
that's more than half the battle,
Yeah,
But like I said, you're a clean liver now. You got
I-
all that out of your system.
Yes, I mean, I'll be in bed by 11:30 on my birthday.
That's all right, but you're backloading those extra years on the back. When they're
Yeah.
changing your diaper,
Yeah.
you earn those years.
I
Can you put on a year to remember? Do you speak English?
Yeah. Uh, well, if I'm watching a year to remember, that means that they haven't won again. So,
Yeah, well, that's true. Maybe they'll hopefully by then, there'll be another year to
yeah,
remember.
yeah. What about you? Are you a
Am I
birthday?
getting spoon fed? No.
No, no. I mean, were you want to celebrate your birthday, or you kind of like
No,
whatever?
I don't. I never really, for a long time, I didn't really care anymore.
Yeah,
Going, you go out to dinner maybe, but
yeah. Like,
the
I'm more. I'm
calendar
more.
is no man's friend, Shawnee boy. No person's friend, man or woman. The
Yeah,
calendar is out to get you.
yeah.
What you're doing is running from it, but it'll catch you. It'll catch up to you one of these days.
Every once in a while, I see it, and I just start mad dashing the other way. But
Yes,
you know,
yes. Like example, as we're recording this, even though it's coming out Monday, we're recording this on a Wednesday, and I can barely believe it's the 6th of October already.
yeah, it's
I mean,
moving.
this entire year, you know, uh, just went by in a zip.
We're going on
How
this.
long ago did it seem like we? I think you were in the podcast room, and we were talking about your upcoming trip to Florida.
Yeah, that was in May or June.
Right, but how long ago does that really seem to you?
A,
A couple of
a,
weeks ago.
Yeah, it doesn't seem that long ago. It doesn't.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
my
that's
this summer, like it's the beginning of my summer, um, it was it wasn't quick, and it doesn't seem it didn't. Let me rephrase that. It doesn't feel like it was quick, but yet that is 4 months ago.
right.
You're just like, what? July, August, September. It's okay. Yeah, about 4 months ago that was.
Yeah, that's my point. It just
Yeah.
the older you get, and I remember. See, I remember. I don't know who the hell told it to me when I was a kid. Somebody telling me, the older you get, the faster time goes.
Mhm.
And whoever the hell that was is definitely right.
Yeah, I agree.
Might have been my father or my uncle or somebody, but I remember somebody when I was a young kid telling me that, and by God, he was right.
I,
You know,
I I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was going to say that the years, the months, the years, they go by in a blink of an eye. They do.
Yeah, it's a blur. Like
I blame
and
it on the CIA. I think the CIA is experimenting with shit.
through the wireless
Let me
internet.
give you a wild conspiracy theory. I think we're revolving faster than we used to around the sun.
So someone once told me, I couldn't remember who, but it's connected to what you said about like it gets faster as you get older. They said because you get used to going through the calendar year as you do it more times, you just get more used to it.
Yeah, I think it has more to do with your day. Your day is filled where it may not have always been filled. You know, like when you're a kid, you go out in the morning to play, and you come back at night, and you felt like you were out there a long time.
Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
now you get up, you do your thing for the day, and it's like the sun's setting already.
yeah. It's 6:30 at night, like tonight. It's already six
Yeah,
thirty.
it's like this. I can't believe this day is over. Right?
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
how
Like you get up, you drive to work, you do your work, you do your job, you come home, blah blah. You have something all of a sudden 7:30 at night. You're like, what the
it's
what?
the goddamn CIA. I'm
Yeah.
telling you.
Do you think that?
And next month, in a couple of weeks, they'll be turning the clock back. It'll get dark around 4 o'clock, 4:30 in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Uh,
Do you care about the balance of that? Like people are like, oh, but you gain an hour of sleep. Like, does that do anything for
no,
you or no? Yeah,
no. Well, you gain one in the fall, so
yeah,
you lose one in the spring.
yeah.
You know, I
I'll,
make
I'll,
it up. I make it up all year round, baby.
what about when you were younger on the turn the clocks back in the fall winter time? My thinking was like, oh, an extra hour at the bar, right?
Now, when I was a kid, I always got. I guess it was depressed at when they turned the clocks back because baseball was over.
Yeah, that's
I was
true.
never a big basketball or football fan. I followed it pedestrianly. I was
Yeah,
an avid baseball fan, and it's like, oh my god, next April, and it got snow coming. It's getting dark at 4:30,
yeah,
freezing my Hawaii's off.
yeah,
I never
yeah.
liked the fall or the late fall, but now I like the fall. I like the change in the scenery. I like the change in the temperature. But as a youth, it always depressed the hell out of me when the clocks turned back.
Yeah. But also growing up in the city, like I would guess, like I lived in the city for a long time, but I wasn't a kid in the city. Like
Right.
being in the city in the wintertime, like it's not the same as like being like in the suburb in the wintertime as a kid. Two different stories. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Like I'm playing in the yard, building snowmen or having a snowball fight, and like you're just, like in the city, you have to find a spot.
Well, we did that too. We had snowball fights.
Okay, all right, maybe I'm
We,
wrong.
we we threw a snowman up every once in a while.
Yeah. Okay.
Your screen is frozen. I don't know if my screen is frozen to you.
No.
As we said at the beginning of this podcast, we're doing a new. Oh, now you just moved again.
Yeah.
We're doing a new. We're using a new thing called Zencaster rather than Zoom, in hopes of improving our video/audio quality. So we'll see how it rocks.
Yeah.
But we would appreciate any kind of feedback, whether you're listening to us on one of the podcast platforms like whatever the hell we're on there, Google or what's the other two, Apple and
Something
Spotify.
around. Yeah. How
Or if
you
you're
doing?
on YouTube, you're watching us, we'd love to see. We'd love a little feedback to see what the hell we're doing right, what the hell we're doing wrong.
Yeah, for sure. Um.
But I have buttons here on the top of this dashboard that I'm doing this podcast from. There's a thing that says intro, outro. You want to hear them? I don't know what the hell they are. Well, we're learning as we go. It's the first time I'm using this. Want to hear it?
Yeah, let it rip. What we
Let me know
got?
if you can hear it. Maybe I'm the only one that can hear it.
That sounds like Spy Hunter. A little bit, not exactly. You know what Spy Hunter is?
No.
That was a Nintendo
Can
video
you hear
game.
it okay?
Yeah.
Oh. There's a little volume button on it. I'm trying.
Yeah, I hear it pretty well.
And
That's
I got this dramatic piano. You ready? You got tissues in case you start crying? Oh my gosh.
Deep Thoughts.
By Jack Handy. All right. 86 that.
So you can add that to the.
I don't know. I don't even know why the hell they're there. I'm just
Right.
clicking on them because they're there. When I click on them, they disappear. So
They call that troubleshooting.
how much? They call that what?
Don't they call that troubleshooting when you're troubleshooting
Uh,
through a program? You
I
just click
think they
it.
call that learning by the seat of your pants as you go.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
what I call it.
Okay.
Here's drums. Ready?
Yep.
Oh, that sucked.
I wanted more.
You got to tell like a Henny Youngman joke, and then I'll click on that.
Okay. All right. Oh, so it's meant to be used while we're going. All right.
I don't know.
I believe so. I would guess.
Okay. Maybe I'll download a whole bunch of little annoying sound effects to put into our podcast.
Yeah. Could do
That'll
that.
perk people up, I'm sure. They're like, yeah, screw this thing. And here's one. This one says ballpark. This might come in handy when you rant about the Mets. Unfortunately, you didn't rave too much about the Mets. Yeah, maybe that's a keeper.
That's good. That's that old school 1970s organ right
And
there.
it's Jane Jarvis on her magic organ.
Yeah.
You're too young to remember Jane Jarvis.
Yeah, I don't know, but I know the Mets. I used to go to Shea when the organ player still hit the organ. I know. I mean,
That was Jane Jarvis.
okay. Then I
She was there for like 412 years.
Yeah, so I'm aware.
But it was much less intrusive than the blaring crap at you when you get there. Whatever.
Yeah,
I'm not getting into it, Sean.
Yeah, don't get into it. Don't get into
No.
it. What I was gonna say is that back to like birthdays. Is there a birthday that stands out to you?
Did I hit the record button? Are we recording?
Yeah, it's counting for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is there a birthday that stands out among others?
yeah.
I think my friends threw me a 21st birthday party, like a surprise 21st birthday party.
Do you remember it?
Yeah, because as you know, I played in a band,
Yes, you did.
and I actually had to work because I got to the place and all these people were there, including my parents and whoever the hell else, a bunch of people, and my drums were there. So I actually had to work.
So they
No,
threw you.
it was fun though. I'm only kidding. It was fun.
Yeah, yeah, of course.
Well, we had to play, so you had to play at my own birthday party.
I would never picture your mother and your father, my grandparents,
Your mother,
your
your
mother
mother.
rocking out at a bar with you jamming out. I just.
Oh, your grandfather was dancing at this party. I remember that
Oh wow, okay.
with a bunch of girls that were there.
Like younger women.
Well, people they were my age at the time.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So he was just the
But
older.
he was doing like the Lindy type,
Yeah, yeah,
1940s dancing.
yeah, yeah.
So, but he was there. He was having a good time.
Yeah, well,
Uh,
when you're 50 and a 20-year-old's dancing with you, you're doing all right.
yeah. Well, yeah. He was about 60.
But
If I
yeah,
was 21, he was about,
yeah.
I think he was 40. The hell was he? 42 or 3 when I was born.
Okay, so he's in the 60s. Yeah,
Yeah. But he had fun.
yeah,
Everybody had fun. But that sticks out. 21st.
yeah. I mean,
I
so
think, I think when all my friends and I turned 40, we all went down to AC. But we went on like a neutral day and
yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm with you.
we celebrated everybody's birthday in
Yeah,
one
yeah,
shot.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
other than that, there it is. What about yourself?
Uh, what birthdays? Like I said, I've never had like a, it wasn't like something that like was a big deal. So I know for some reason my 30th birthday stands out to me. Um, we were down in Queens and we went to the beer garden. I think you know the beer garden down there. But like it just stands out, like and we whatever we hung out, barbecue, drank, whatever it was. But there was never I never really had like a standout birthday party. But like I'm not saying that I want one. Like I'm totally fine that I
See,
didn't.
now I got to get like a hint button, so I can put a hint in there.
I don't. I've never had a surprise party. Like I'm good. Like
You're getting a free meal Sunday. What else do you want?
that's I'm fine with that. Like, I'll be honest with you. My perfect birthday is I'm out. I wake up and I'm out playing golf. That's a good birthday for me. Yeah.
Set yourself up on a course for Sunday.
No, I'll play Monday. I'll play Monday.
You'll be all day in church anyway. You won't have time for golf. And then you go out with your brother and your sister-in-law and your nephew
Yeah.
and who else? Oh, and your mother.
And my mom. Yeah, my mom.
Your mother.
Somebody. So, but it's birthdays. I guess to sum up this topic, but birthdays just aren't what they were when you were younger.
No.
It's like Christmas. It just changes.
They come faster, and it becomes like after a while, it becomes like you don't even remember it's your birthday on your birthday.
Yeah,
You get a bunch of phone calls.
People, yeah, like my coworker, I'm pretty close with. She's just like, "It's your birthday Sunday." I'm like, "That's like not that I forgot about him, but I just wasn't thinking about him." Like,
And you get a couple of people on Facebook will send you.
Yeah, send you a little. How you do?
They don't realize you don't go on Facebook no more.
Yeah.
You get that, and you get phone calls from your brothers and sisters, and that's me anyway.
Yeah, all that stuff, which is nice. It's nice. It's nice to feel the love, like
But that's about the extent of what I care about my birthday anymore.
Yeah,
You know, a nice garden salad. All I need is a nice. So, but you get to be 58, which is what I am. It starts to get old hat after a while.
Yeah. So this year you're turning 59.
I am.
Okay, so you got. I mean, I guess
With the help of the good Lord, shiny
Yeah.
boy. With the help of the good Lord.
yeah. Like we in our culture, it's about like that next decade for some reason. Like I don't know, like I guess it's like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Like those seem to be like the big, like, oh, you're turning 60, and it's just like, and then it's not really how life works. It's not like you're 60 now you do 60 things. Like you could be 60 and still feel like you're 52 and act like you're 52. So it's kind of weird.
Yeah. Well, no, you feel your age and your wisdom when you get into your late 50s.
Yeah, you would hope, right?
Well, I feel like I have attained a certain level of wisdom, and
Yeah.
I think by the time you get to be 58, you'll learn what not to do more than what you'll learn what to do. It's like you can see the end game better. You have more clarity on the end game of situations that come up in your life.
Okay. Yeah.
Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Seriously, big time. Big time.
Yeah, you just when you have a certain amount of years behind you, you start to see. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to involve myself in that crap. All.
Yeah. Ain't that and that there's like so
So
perfect
when you're
example.
younger, you might jump at something that you wouldn't when you're older. It's like there's an opportunity, but not when you're 58. You say,
That
I think I'm gonna go home and watch YouTube for a while.
that happened to me today. Like so one of my you might have met him before too. One of my very good friends from childhood is in town from Georgia.
Don't mention his name. The CIA's watching.
Yeah, I won't. But and like last week or over the weekend, he's just like, hey, let's get together. He's staying in a hotel by LaGuardia. He's like, let's get together in Astoria, like because a couple of my boys still live there, and I'm like, all right. I'm like, I get out at 4 o'clock on a Wednesday, on a Wednesday, and he's just like, yeah. And then all of a sudden he's like, we're gonna meet at 8. I started laughing. I'm like, I don't need to be a part of that. Like,
No,
I love you, but
I'll
like,
meet you at 8, but I got to leave at like 8:15.
yeah, I was just like, I was like, I'm in bed by 9:45, 10 the latest. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Eight
So
o'clock ain't happening, pal.
now, if you said 5 o'clock, 5:30, no problem. I'd go to Astoria, hang out for a little bit, get some food, and be home by 8:30. Not a problem. But I can't do that. That's like what you're saying. Like you get older, you start to realize the juice ain't worth the squeeze on that one.
Yeah, I've heard that term before.
Yeah,
I use that term a lot.
yeah. And there's a
You're the one
story.
who taught me that term. You should be proud of yourself.
Yes, yes.
Mm.
It's not my turn, but yes, it's something that's been.
Well,
I
you
think,
relate it to me. You
yeah, yeah.
relayed it to me. Yeah.
which is good. There's a
Uh-huh.
story I use at the beginning of the year when I teach with my students called 11. It's for younger kids, and the one thing I like about the story
It's
is
called 11.
yeah, like the number.
Okay.
It's about this what character, a boy or girl. I guess it's how you see the story. And they're turning 11, but they're like, but when I turn 11, people don't realize I'm still 10, I'm still 9, I'm still 8, I'm still 7. Like the idea
Wait,
that
wait,
like
wait. Start me. Start me. I'll never make it in your class. Start again.
there's the story called 11.
I got that part.
Yeah, and the character is telling a story, and is telling the story about how their birthday's coming up and they're turning 11, but they're still 10 and they're still 9, and people forget that they're still 7 sometimes and they're still 6. And like I like that part because sometimes I'm still 30, sometimes I still act like I'm 24.
Oh, I see. Okay. All
And
right.
sometimes like people are like, oh, you're 43. I'm like, yeah, but I'm a lot more 24 than I am 43.
Okay. Because the way you described it, I thought it was like it's saying, I'm turning 60, but in 18 years.
Yeah, no, so I'm a shitty teacher. All right, good. Yeah,
You know, technically you are turning 60. It's just 18 years from
yeah,
now.
yeah. But like the idea that like I'm more used to being like a 30-year-old than I am being a fucking 40-year-old.
I hear you.
You know
I
what I'm saying?
understand that. Because you're still, what are you turning?
43.
43. So you're still in your low 40s.
Yeah, I mean I'm holding on to him, but yeah, I'm still.
Well, I mean, it's 43, still low 40s.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
I passed Matt. Anyway, so you still have, it hasn't left your rearview mirror yet, the 30s.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, my 20s are gone. Like that. Like I know
That
that's
was way the hell long
yeah,
ago,
yeah.
man.
It's over.
Now
It's
you're
over.
pushing it,
It's over.
Yeah.
But like 36, 37, I'm holding. I'm holding.
It's still in the rear view. It's right.
Yeah,
You can see it. Just look up. It's right there.
yeah. I'm
Yeah.
like I used to be. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I understand that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have the one downside to um, moving this thing down because of this friggin' awesome internet connection that we have up in the podcast room. Moving it downstairs to here, the front of my store. The downside is I'm right at the front window, and people will look as they're walking by. They're looking at me like, "There's a guy in there talking to himself."
That's great.
Yeah.
Or some of the people are like knocking on the window. Can I come in?
Tom, you
Yeah.
all right? You all right? You
Uh,
want to talk?
yeah, you all right, buddy?
Yeah. So that's the down. But you run with what you got. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. And as you do get, I'll give you a life lesson. As you do get older, and you're still a very young man, so especially by my standards, you run with what you got, no matter what age you are.
That's very true. That's very true.
you might you might. Well, I'm not going to say it. I was going to say you might have. No, I'm not going to say it. No, you might have. No, I'm not going to say it.
Yeah,
Anyway, enjoy your birthday.
I appreciate that, T. I
Yeah.
do.
So, what else is
Yeah.
going on in Shawnee Boy's life besides going around the sun one more time?
Yeah, it's been like you said, September's been a blip, man. It's been a blur. It was just
September, yeah.
yeah, they started school and just like before you know it, I'm like, like we're already wrapping up the first week of October. Like you, it's like wow, you know, time, man. Time is like this isn't something that like people aren't aware of, but like time is something that like goes by so fast, but yet you always want more of it.
Yeah.
You know.
Um, we all have a limited amount of time here on Earth, so enjoy with what you got.
Yeah. You
You
know.
know,
I
maybe
take.
for my birthday, I might give up the lung dots. We'll see.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bury that saying. I say the cemeteries are full of people that never smoked a day in their life.
Yeah.
But you don't want to get on that roulette wheel too often.
No. The roulette wheel is. You don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. So maybe I'll do that for my birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you still enjoy it?
Yeah. Well, no. That's a lie. I don't enjoy it. It's just very hard to quit.
Oh, for somebody who used to smoke, maybe now.
In one of our future podcasts, if we venture away from Zoom and into this thing, if this is better, we'll have to figure the hell out because I'm not happy with our presentations. By the way,
Okay.
I took a look back at our previous pod. I'm not happy with the sound. I'm not happy with the video quality, or the sound quality. There are a couple of tidbits where I was happy, but that it's an exception, not the rule. I want to be more consistent in our video and audio quality.
For sure.
So this is why we're experimenting. But one of the future guests we have is a doctor here in town. I guess he does. I guess his main gig is acupuncture, maybe.
Oh yeah. Okay.
But he does some sort of a thing. I just learned this today. He does some sort of a thing for smoking cessation.
Like to help you quit.
Or maybe you don't think about smoking when he's stabbing you to death with the things. I don't know how it works.
No, I don't know much about, but I've heard about acupuncture and like
When
helping
you're
you
getting
quit.
stabbed, you don't think about smoking. Maybe that's what the
No.
theory behind it is.
Yeah.
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 So we'll talk about that when the fella comes here.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah. No, that'd be
I
good.
don't like because earlier in our podcast things, and we're airing our dirty laundry here, right?
Oh yeah.
We don't mind our audience listening to our struggles to get better.
Isn't that what life's about? Trying to
We
get
want
better?
them all here on our journey.
them.
Anyway, like a Bob Ross here. Now I forgot what the hell I was going to say.
Doctor, cigarettes,
No,
journey.
no. Oh yeah. So yeah, the doctor. So when he does come up here, well, he won't be our next guest, but the next guest that comes up here, um, we did sort of like a um, shortcut. We discussed this before you went to Florida. We were trying to figure out a way to get you to be the co-host when you're not physically located here.
Yeah.
And I was trying all different ways. And people who do this for a living, like mixing and video presentations and all that crap, they probably don't like, why doesn't this idiot just do this? If there's anybody that does that is watching us. But I don't know how to do it. Okay. So as a shortcut, we basically were filming the audio and video, or recording the audio and video on Zoom. So you were on Zoom, I was on Zoom, and then the guest sitting next to me is on Zoom. And that was the resolution I came up with to get you involved as the co-host while still having a guest in person in the house, so to speak. So it was, a shortcut to the logistical problem that we would have. But I don't like the way it comes out. I don't like the sound quality. When you weren't here as a host, as an example, I was able to plug in the guest and myself into our mics, and the sound quality was really good. And I was using a a separate camera
So it's
to
my
record the video.
so I'm the problem. I'm the X factor.
No, no, no. You're the asset that we're trying to incorporate. How's that sound? But anyway, so what I did, those podcasts actually came out pretty good. I referenced you to the one we did with Jr. The poet
Yep.
Jr. McCarthy.
Hmm.
He was sitting in the podcast room. I was using a separate camera, and we were both plugged in. The microphones were both plugged in through my. I know you like this term, preamp.
Oh, you love the preamp.
I know. Yeah.
Preamp,
And
preamp is gonna be on the blooper reel.
I thought both the sound and the audio and the video were fairly decent. Okay, and that if I refer you to that podcast, that's the consistency. I'm trying to do that kind of quality on a consistent basis. So it's October the 6th as we're recording this. We're going to experiment for the next few podcasts to get down to a consistent resolution, or a resolution that makes the quality consistent.
Yeah.
But right now, being self-analytical, I'd say the quality is consistently subpar right now.
Yeah, I would agree. I mean, but like, we if you go back to the, I don't know, the sixth or seventh podcast, we were doing this for shits and giggles. So
We're still doing this for shits.
yeah, no, yeah, no. So like I couldn't tell you. When we first started doing this, I didn't know anything. I just knew that I could talk. that's it. So
Hmm.
you
I
know.
mentioned to you, you did a podcast. We did a podcast a couple of weeks ago, where you did a rave about what happened to the Mets this year. People who listened to us in the past know that you're a big Met fan, as am I guess. But so you were doing an analytical of what happened to the 2021 Mets. And I was telling you, the platform we use that pushes out this thing to all the places gives me stats. And for some reason, we get maybe 2 or 3 dozen people that watch our video on YouTube.
Yeah.
And somewhere between 100 and 200 people listen to the audio portion of this on Apple or Google or Spotify or wherever the hell they listen to their podcasts, which we appreciate. We'd never expected to have more than you and me really watching this thing.
I thought maybe 5 people tops. Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, anyway, the thing that we did a couple of weeks ago that you did, mainly the rave about the 2001 Mets.
The debacle.
I was telling you about the stat results,
Yeah.
that people in Europe downloaded that episode, and I can't get my head around. Like I told you, there was a couple of downloads from the Netherlands, which, as you know, is a big baseball country.
Yeah. What you told me that I put on an orange shirt out of respect. So.
And Ireland, I don't know if they play baseball in those countries.
Well, so with the Ireland thing,
As an example, 6 people downloaded that podcast. We had 6 downloads in France, and I'm thinking to myself, who the hell plays baseball in France that would care to listen for an hour
I don't
of
know.
Shawnee Boy doing a rant about the 2021 Mets?
I thought of 2 things. I
They
thought
could be expats, maybe. I don't know.
yeah, like people who move from America to, let's say, France, and they, let's say they're a Met fan and they married a French person, and they whatever. That's like, logical. But our cousins in Ireland, remember the one that came over?
Well, one of them is one of our cousins. Excuse
Yeah.
me, is a sports writer. I don't know if he
Yeah,
knows.
and he's a big A's fan.
Yeah, he's big into baseball. I never figured that out.
Yeah,
He's
so
born and raised in Dublin, and
I used to talk to when I was supposed to go to Ireland, years ago. But we went back and forth email, and he's like, "Yeah, when you come, you spend time with me, blah blah blah." I never made it.
we drink, we'll do.
Yeah. But he's just like, I'm an A's fan. I'm like, how the fuck is this guy? I'm like, did you grow up in America? And he's like, no, I've been in Ireland my whole life. I'm like, it'd be one thing if all right, if you told me Yankee fan, all right, like I know the Yankees are worldwide. If you told me The Dodgers, A's.
Well, I misquoted. He's actually a sports writer.
Yeah,
He writes something for something over there. So, but I was yeah, his brother came here and I took him to a Met game.
yeah. I went
Yeah,
out with his brother. I actually took him to the beer garden.
yeah.
So, but
David was his name. Is his name?
yeah, but the world is
But I don't think I sort of kind of lost touch with both of them. So I don't know if they even know what the hell would I would highly doubt they know that we have a podcast.
I'm sure that.
Those downloads in Ireland can't be. I don't think it's them.
Yeah. And if they did know that, and they stumbled upon this, I don't even know if they know it'd be. They probably wouldn't realize it's their family. You know.
Yeah,
Last time I met them, my hair was dark.
yeah.
So
Well, so
yeah,
was mine. I
yeah,
had brown hair the last time I saw
yeah.
both of them. Yeah.
Things have
So
changed
I
in the
don't
last
know,
20 years.
but if you are a regular listener and you're from those countries, we appreciate it.
Yeah, we do.
And maybe comment below this thing. Hey, we're getting people to comment. We're trying to get people to comment, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Comment if you're from the Netherlands. Just explain why the hell you care about
yeah,
the 2021 Mets.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or how you stumbled upon us.
Or
That's
how you got to even hear
yeah,
or know about the Gritty Hour. Yeah.
yeah,
Because that would be interesting to know.
yeah,
And but we get like almost every podcast, we get 5, 6 people from France. I don't.
yeah. It's wild.
Hmm.
But it's
The bulk of the people are obviously from the United States, and we vary between 100 and 200. It seems to me per episode.
yeah,
Um, so I don't know. Well, we're glad you're here. We're glad you're following us. We're glad you listen to our podcasts, and we hope you're enjoying it. And I hope you muddle through with us as we try to get better in our
yeah, yeah.
presentation.
And we will. I'm not worried about that. We'll get better.
Oh no, we're gonna have bells and whistles. We're gonna have little buttons that make little wheeze
Yeah,
and
yeah,
weird
yeah.
noises.
We'll get better. Yeah,
Also,
I'm gonna make a left on this conversation if that's all right.
you're gonna make a left-hand turn.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, put your blinker on. Hit it.
All right, all right. So recently,
Uh
you
oh.
know, yeah, recently, New York City just fired 4,000 teachers. You know that, right?
That didn't want to get inoculated.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah. It's so that's kind of what we just went through this week, or what we
Well,
were going.
the state healthcare system fired 1,200. I think 1,200 of them healthcare workers.
Yeah, oh yeah, they're
And that
like,
actually is a little more unsettling because I want to know why the hell they didn't want to get that.
yeah, the people who are on the inside aren't getting the shot. You're like, why?
Well,
But
1,200. I don't know how many people are in the healthcare
yeah,
industry in
yeah,
the
yeah.
state of New York, but
But it raises a question. Makes you think a little bit. But and I'm vaccinated. I'm not like worried. If I grow another arm, I grow another arm. Whatever. Um, but
when
like
the booster, I got well, the booster is available to me. I'm going to take that too. Number
my
one is free.
yeah, it's
If I
available to me.
grow another head, that's two
Yeah.
heads better than one.
I just got the email that I'm eligible to get the booster because I'm an in person. Whatever, an in person
See, I don't
worker.
understand that because I don't know what kind of inoculate the vaccination you got the first time, but I got Moderna,
Yeah, it's
and
on.
that's not been no booster is available for Moderna yet.
No, it's just Pfizer. I got Pfizer.
Okay, and then number two, at least, and this is where I get confused, and I think I can, all kidding aside, blame the CDC for confusing the fuck out of people. Wearing the mask, don't wear the mask. Now Fauci's got 3 masks on. Last year was like masks don't do you any good. Now he's walking around with a sock on his head. Um,
Can we pause? Can we talk about this for a second? The people who wear double and triple masks. I'm like,
yeah,
are you suffocating under there?
yeah, that's the other thing. That I'm not going to get into that, but
Well, if that's what you want to do, but like, I'm like, you can't be breathing well. You
no,
can't
but
be breathing well.
the point I wanted to make was they're confusing the shit out of people. So if there's a lot of people that don't want to get vaccinated, maybe it's because you're confusing the shit out of them.
Yeah, yeah,
And not only that, but see, this is the thing. So there's no Moderna booster, right? I got the first shot as soon as I could get in there. There was a big, you know, you had to get into
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
state thing,
Pop,
and
pop, pop, pop.
it's like playing the friggin' lottery. Oh, I
Yeah,
got approved. So I got the first shot, and then they automatically set you up with the second shot.
yeah.
And I remember the lady that gave me the second shot saying, "You're probably going to need a booster next year sometime."
Oh yeah, oh you yeah,
I
and
said,
it,
okay, no, I don't, whatever.
yeah.
But now the Moderna one hasn't been approved, and from what I know, now you're telling me you're approved for your booster.
For the
From what I
Pfizer.
heard, well, yeah, no, but from what I heard, you had to be 65 and over, which I'm
Yeah,
not
it was,
eligible.
but now it's all that, and then if you are like a teacher or a healthcare worker or something like that, you can get
Well,
it.
I'm none of the above. I'm not
Yeah.
65. I'm barely a learner. Forget about being a teacher. So,
Yeah.
but when it's available to me, and I'm not playing that lottery game again, trying to beat 68 other
No,
people into
you'll
it.
get. I got an email. I just had an email, but I got an email through my work, so maybe that's why, I got an email. So
When it's available to me, I'll get the booster.
yeah, yeah,
'Cause I don't understand people that
yeah,
are against it. The only people that I can understand that are against it, that makes sense to me, is people who maybe are pregnant or want to get pregnant.
yeah, yeah,
Women that
yeah.
are pregnant want to get pregnant,
Or have like a health issue that where the
or an underlying health issue that would cause concern about.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
I don't
Uh,
understand why kids have to wear masks all day in school. That makes no sense to me.
it's it is like people are like, oh, what's the big deal? Wear a mask. I'm like, I'm in a mask all day long. Like,
I got to wear a mask. Well, I don't have to, but I have a
yeah,
voluntary thing where at the discretion of the customer. That's how I operate it right now.
yeah, yeah,
But I ask whoever's working here to wear a mask
yeah,
to
yeah,
make the customer feel better.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Make the customer feel comfortable. But a young kid, that's how healthy is that to wear a mask for 8 hours in school, however the hell
I don't
long
know.
in school?
I don't know. People, so I don't know. I mean, like you said, there's news that comes out that it's healthy. There's news that comes out that say it's a problem. Like,
Yeah, and the other thing is Dr. Fauci the only friggin' scientist we got in this goddamn country?
I
Well,
know.
they can't afford anymore because he makes so much. The guy
Yeah,
makes more money than the president.
yeah, I
No
know.
offense, he's a New Yorker and he went to Regis, and I appreciate that. He was 4'2" and he's playing basketball. I don't know how
Yeah,
that happened, but we got to have other scientists besides that friggin' guy.
yeah. Is he even a scientist?
Or a doctor, whatever the hell he
But
is.
I'm saying, like, yeah, like, or is he more? Is he like? Is he meaning like? Is he still
I
doing?
don't know. Maybe he's a dentist. I have
Yeah,
no
yeah.
idea.
Is he still
You know,
doing science stuff, or is he just making money?
he's definitely making money.
Yeah, So that's all. Whatever.
And God bless him. He's more intelligent than I am, and he's just rolling with what the learning as they go type thing. Maybe I don't know,
Yeah. Oh,
but
oh,
there's something just and I don't like. I'm not a conspiracy theorist on anything, and I run kind of down the middle with politics and all that shit. Just something doesn't feel right about that guy, and something doesn't feel right about the way they're doing this whole thing.
yeah. I kind of.
They had this massive problem of people not getting vaccinated, which apparently they still have, including like only what did I hear, 30 something percent of the African Americans in this country are that's the vaccination rate.
Yeah.
So they have this massive problem of people getting. Got a lot of people not wanting to get vaccinated. So all of a sudden, this Delta variant comes out. It just doesn't.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be impartial, but this just is not ringing true to me.
It.
I smell bullshit, Dr. Fauci.
It. I. Yeah. I'm with you,
It's the
man.
way he bullshitted his way onto the basketball team when he's 4'2" and he's playing basketball for Regis.
No, coach, I'm a hustler. I trust me.
I got really thick sneakers.
Yeah. Yeah. Just what it was so surprising was like De Blasio, who I'm not gonna get into him, but
Please don't, because
yeah,
then I'll have to go to a cardiologist. But go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. He they let go of what 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, whatever the number is, and then he's just like there's no substitutes to back this up.
Well, there's thousands of them in the rubber room. Get them out of the
No,
rubber room.
no, like meaning like he said, oh, I have thousands of substitutes in the waiting, and it was all nonsense.
Yeah. Well, he's
But like,
his whole tenure has been nonsense.
yeah. But point being is like you're getting rid of all. I don't know. I'm not saying I agree with or disagree. It's like you said. It's kind of confusing. You're like, what is really going on here?
Critical thinking is what's missing in this country at the
Yeah,
moment.
I'm like, what is like? We're just getting rid of teachers. And
Next
then
month, I'm hoping. Again, I don't have a dog in the fight. We said this in a previous podcast.
yeah,
Um, but it's New York is still my hometown, but it's in the goddamn gutter right now. I
yeah,
hear stories from people. I get customers every weekend from the city, and they're all telling me, there's homeless all over the Union Square, drug
yeah,
addicts.
yeah. It's not,
But
it's not
anyway,
great.
I'm praying that Eric Adams wins. It's between him and I guess Curtis Lewa,
Yeah,
the Republican running.
yeah.
I don't know. He's always came off as a nut job to me.
Well,
Eric Adams, I'm not in love with the guy, but he seems like a reasonable fella. So I'm hoping he wins, and I hope he straightens things out a little bit.
yeah. Well,
But you know, you're the one that brought it up, and I'm the one that went off on it. So what did you want to say?
well, it sounds like you need to get that off your chest, and this is the gritty hour. We get down to the nitty gritty, right? So, well, I was going to say this is a question. I'm just asking this question. Like at this point, I want to be skeptic. Not that I disagree or not, or agree with anything, but like I want to think about it first before we're just like just go do whatever you're supposed. That they told you to do. Just go do it. Let me ask a few questions first.
You talking about the vaccination?
Yeah, like this whole scene now, like it's just like you're either with it or you're not. It's like whoa, let me just ask some questions. Can I ask a few questions? So if the teachers have to be mandated, how come any student over 12 isn't mandated? And if they do get mandated, that means you're going to kick them out of school if they don't get vaccinated.
That's the other thing I don't like is these arbitrary
I'm like, what?
65 and over. They throw these arbitrary
Yeah,
ages at you. 12 and under can't. Why 12?
yeah, yeah,
Dr. Fauci. Why 12?
yeah.
Or that other lady that works for them.
But I teach 13 and 14-year-olds, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not. I didn't ask my students. I'm not going to ask them. It's like I honestly, at the end of the day, it doesn't. I'm not phased by it. But like they're not mandated to get vaccinated, but they can give off if they had COVID, they can spread it to somebody. Like I don't understand like why teachers are losing their jobs, and yet and then kids aren't mandated, and they're still able to give off the virus. It's a little confused. That's confusing to me.
But yeah, I understand your confusion, and
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
don't
oh,
understand the arbitrary
yeah,
nature of these
yeah,
ages that they put. Is there a scientific reason behind 12 and not 14
I don't
or
know.
10, 11 and a half?
Yeah.
65 and over for the booster. Where you getting this crap, all their information from? They're making it up as they go along. And maybe I'm not being fair to them. Maybe they're reacting. They're trying to react to a changing virus. Who the hell knows?
Yeah.
All I'm saying is the information delivery system is shit.
Yeah, it is. It's super confusing. And I go to work. I don't go to work like once thinking about getting COVID. Like I'm not stressed about it. Like, but like I'm at a point where I'm like, it's healthy to ask some questions right now because literally this week, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, they just got rid of almost 5,000 teachers, and like that's a lot of.
Or any of them in your school?
Yeah,
You've been vaccinated.
yeah. No, we lost a few. I mean, people they didn't
You
want
lost more than one in the school?
to.
Wow.
Yeah, we
And
lost it.
did you ever get a chance to chat with them before they left and ask them why they didn't want to get vaccinated?
I was friendly with one of them. They just they didn't feel comfortable putting it in their body. And I was just like, I'm gonna be honest with you, like, I don't feel that way, but I understand like that perspective for sure.
I do
Yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like so historically, vaccines take 3 to 5 years to make. Historically, right? We did this in a year. You're like, all right. I'm like, again, for me, I'm not like,
Actually, if you do listen to Dr. Fauci and his
yeah.
half-assed testimonies in front of Congress, he did say they've been working on this vaccine for 5-7 years,
Okay. So,
long time,
yeah. So maybe I don't
in
know.
anticipation of it coming around. How
Yeah.
the hell that happened, I don't know.
Yeah. Who invented the vaccine?
Dr. Fauci.
Who owned the lab in
Oh,
China?
who invented the vaccine? I'm sorry. I thought you were going to say who invented the virus.
No, no.
I was tongue
Who?
in cheek going to say
Yeah.
Dr. Fauci.
Who created the vaccine for COVID?
From what I'm understand, and again, the delivery of information system is shit. From what I understand, they've been working on a vaccine for corona type viruses for years.
And Fauci's a part of that, right?
He would have been as the head of whatever the hell he's the head
Yeah.
of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, wasn't he also in charge of the Wu lab?
He denies funding it.
Okay. All right.
The Wuhan lab in China, he's been denying. I don't know if you go on YouTube and listen to his back and forth with Senator Rand Paul,
Yeah.
he's vehemently denying that they funded the Wuhan lab experiments.
It's just
But,
like
but I've seen evidence. I've heard evidence of the contrary. So I don't know.
it's yeah, it's so when you hear stuff like that, and I'm not saying that he's it's a conspiracy. I'm not saying that. It just makes you it's hard to believe any of this when you hear all that stuff. You're like, all right, so he may be in some kind of backdoor deal that got him rich. Maybe he's really trying to help people, but you're like, how am I supposed to figure that out when I hear both sides are getting thrown around?
Right.
That's the
Well,
you're like all right,
everybody looks to him so there's people that look to him as sort of a savior, and I have to ask them to ask themselves, savior of what?
yeah,
The hell did he do?
he's nothing.
Last when this thing first coming into, everybody shutting down, running home, putting the blanket over their head. He was he was saying,
with the lights off.
yeah, he was saying, don't wear a mask. They don't do nothing.
Yep,
But
yep.
the motivation behind that might have been to save the mask for the healthcare workers. Maybe that's
Maybe, yeah. That which
what was
makes
in his. I don't know what the hell was in his head. All I'm trying to say, in general, since he became to the forefront during the onset of this thing, that whole healthcare industry, the healthcare government, healthcare advisors or whatever the hell they are, CDC and the NIH, have all been very conflicting. They've tripped over their own toes on what they're telling the general population.
Yeah.
And again, I'll throw the caveat out there. They might be just, it looks confusing to the end user, which is you and me, because the situation is changing and they're trying to adapt their information to the changing situation, or they just don't know what the hell they're talking about. I'm
Yeah.
sort of leaning towards the latter at the moment.
It's yeah. It's like it's just right now. If you're not asking questions, I think you're doing yourself a disservice. I'm not saying that people have to, if you feel a certain way, fine, but ask questions. Like it's healthy to ask questions.
Critical thinking. It's the
Yeah,
duty of every citizen to question everything that comes out of the government.
yeah. Like it's
And just
important.
think critically and take the information you're hearing. And this goes to, I was going to comment that we didn't even mention the whole Facebook thing with the whistleblower and everything, but because we have touched upon the social media plight or problem, we've touched on several podcasts in
Yeah,
the past, and now it's in the forefront. But um, people just need to critically think about the information they're receiving, however they receive it, wherever they receive it, whether you're a Democrat, Republican, Communist, uh, if you're in the Ku Klux Klan, whatever. Think about the information you're receiving critically and think it through. Make sure it resonates as true to you before you jump on it.
yeah, and be somewhat practical about what you're hearing. Like realistic about
Yeah.
like so, yeah.
If
The
Nicki Minaj says it, then it's true.
oh come on. Here's my last thought about it. So
Yeah, we're gonna end on a positive note. By God.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll come full circle, but
Mhm.
I'll say this: you get rid of all these teachers, right? And you're taking away resources to help educate kids. That's the part I'm really confused about.
Right.
We're already in a teacher shortage going into the year.
Right.
Couldn't you just have each teacher be tested twice a week, 3 times, whatever the number is, that didn't want to get vaccinated, and every morning
The ones that didn't want to get vaccinated, were they down with the testing?
that wasn't an option.
Oh, so they didn't even give them that option?
You're just like, why we just went right to extreme. That's what I'm confused about. Let's say I didn't want to get vaccinated, and you're like, well, all right, well, Sean, you need every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you need to get tested. No problem. But that wasn't put on the table. So that's when you start to be like, well, the kids who are old enough to get vaccinated don't need to be vaccinated. The teachers who don't want to get vaccinated.
What is your union stance on this?
To be honest with you, I think there's nothing. I don't think they have a leg to stand on. I don't know why.
But what is it? Have they vocalized any kind of a stance?
If they did, I wouldn't know. I've just been so wrapped up with my day to day. Like I kind of just.
I'd be interested to know what the teachers union is. Are they for these expulsions? Are they for?
I can't see how they would be. You're just making the union weaker too. I mean, just again, critical thinking. Like, you get rid of 5,000 teachers. What's that? The union loses $5,000 of dues every paycheck.
Yeah.
So again, you're making it weaker. But again, I don't have the answers. But it's just, this is like a part of what we do at the Gritty Hour, right? Like, I want to talk about stuff.
Yeah, and I think the way we wrap this up is, you still have a job.
I do.
You got your vaccination.
I do.
You'll get your booster when when they stab you. You won't duck.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Like, I'm taking care of my side of the street. I definitely am. Like, I'm doing my part because I'm fine with it. It's just it seems extreme.
Couple of days, just enjoy transitioning into from a 42-year-old to a 43-year-old.
Yeah. Give it to me. Give it to you. One tip for 43. Let me hear it.
I don't have any tips. I don't even remember one. I'll tell you one. I'll give you one tip.
Okay? All right.
I'm 58.
Yeah.
I don't remember being 43.
Wasn't that special? Gotcha.
If that means don't expect much, I don't know.
All right.
43 could also, on the flip side of that coin, be the best year of your life.
Could be.
When on Sunday when you turn 43, it could go either way. It could be something to forget, something that goes on the pile with the other years, or something that you'll say, man, when I was 43, I can't guarantee you what happened.
Oh, man, it was actually, maybe next year I'll be like, what's your best birthday story? When I was 43.
I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
Possibility exists. It's like New Year's Day, anything can happen.
Yeah.
Anything can happen.
Yeah.
All right, Shawnee boy. Well, thanks for doing this experiment with this new thing.
You got it, T.
And just keep your fingers crossed when this comes out. It'll be Monday.
You might want to do a quick preview before you say
Well, keep your fingers crossed that it turns out better than it was.
Yeah.
And ask if you said you have friends that watch this thing.
Yeah.
Ask one of them to throw his comments on.
Yeah, I when I send it, I always text it to a group of them. I'll say, guys, definitely comment at the bottom.
Yeah, watch and critique, and tell them we don't. Well, if they're watching us, I'll tell them we don't care if it's good or bad. Comment. We really want to learn from the listeners how we're doing as we move forward.
Yeah, big time. Because that's because now, like, the warm up's over, we got to start.
And if you didn't call him on his goddamn birthday, there's your chance. Comment and say happy birthday to Shawnee boy in the comment section.
Yeah.
No matter how you listen to it, there's always a comment section somewhere.
There you go.
All right, brother.
All right, T.
Happy birthday, Shawnee boy.
Thanks, brother.
We'll see you next time.